Welcome back to another incredible episode of Unapologetically Sean, where we talk about everything that has to do with our mind, body, and soul, a splash of pop culture, and any and everything that I like to talk about. So if you're interested in today's episode, make sure you stay tuned. And also remember, you can listen to us, at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, Amazon Music, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Audible, and each and every Wednesday at midnight on my YouTube channel, Life with Sean. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome back, family. So we are on episode 12 of Unapologetically Sean podcast, and today's episode is gonna be titled I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Here I am at my big age of 30, and it seems like I am really starting over again in my life. It's like I accomplished a lot of things in my early 20s that, most of us want to accomplish or been programmed by society to accomplish these things. And yes, I accomplished most of those quote unquote American dream goals, but now here I am at my big age of 30, a free agent, and just trying to figure out life again. And I said before that I don't like to be in like survival mode, and like the hustle culture is like too much. But now I'm in a spot where I have no other choice but to hustle and survive. So I'm really like, this is not what I expected my 30s to start off with. This chapter, I expected it to be like great, grand, a new step into adulthood, being better than what I was in my 20s, really getting a chance to travel and do the things that I want to do since I'm older, and since I didn't get to do certain things in my 20s, since I did a lot of things that normally people do in their 30s, I did it early in my 20s, like get married, have kids, buy a house, all that good stuff. So now I'm in a point, my kids are older, they're in school. I want to do more things for myself. And now I have to hustle to survive because America has to make it so hard for us to survive. That's another topic for another day. But it's like, I don't even know what I want to be when I grow up, because now I'm reaching in a enlightened stage where this is not what God intended for us to be doing. I've always said, I was like, God did not intend for us to struggle. God provided everything we needed on this planet to survive, our basic needs. Yet we have to pay for our basic needs, like shelter, food, water, things that God provided, we have to pay for, which is asinine in my opinion. Like, doesn't make sense. We should not nobody in this planet should be homeless. We have so much land on this planet that not one single soul should be homeless, hungry, or anything. Like, and that really hurts my soul, because I'm like, there should not be anybody hungry. Like, it's really sad. No one should be hungry or without their basic needs, And that's the sad part about what's going on in the world. But I'm not going to go off into that. I'm going to stick with why I feel the way I feel. Like, I still don't know why or what I'm doing in my 30s. Like, I'm so lost. And I feel like a lot of people in my generation feels the same way. Like, we clearly don't know what we're doing. I've listened to so many videos about how our generation don't feel like real adults, and sometimes it's like we playing a game. Like, we pretending to be adults, but we're still children trying to figure out what we want to be when we grow up. Like, we still trying to figure it out. We don't act like an adult. And it's crazy because it's like the things that the previous generations got to do, we don't have those privileges. And that's probably why we don't feel like adults. It feel like we actually playing. Like, we still children trying to figure out how to be adults. It's crazy when you think about it. But I just been really in this headspace of trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do next? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to make money in different ways. I'm so over like the traditional work for somebody else to make pennies on the dollar, not even enough to, pay bills or survive. You get tired of that type of stuff. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, it don't look like our generation is going to be able to retire. And we're going to have to be just like the B movie. If you haven't seen the B movie, please go watch the B movie, because I feel like the B movie represents our life and really represents the times now, because of course bees have to work until they die, and that's basically what the movie is about. And the main character, he like, I don't want to work until I die. Like, I want to live life, and that's how we are as a people. We don't want to work until we die. Like, I spoke with an aunt, and she was telling me about how this lady was 92 years old still working. 92. I feel like that's just disrespectful to our elders, for our elders to have to work in their 90s. Like, that's literally the last leg of your life, and you out here having to work. That's just disgusting. And I know God is disgusted with humanity, because I'm disgusted with humanity, and it's just sad and disgusting. It's like, do you respect the elders? Feel like the elders should not have to work in their 90s. Like, come on now. 90s. Yes, it's a blessing that this lady can still work and drive and do all these things, but she shouldn't have to. Like, you in the last leg of your life and you telling me you have to work? When do you ever get to enjoy life? When do we ever get that opportunity to just enjoy, just to be, not have to think about anything, just live the way God intended for us to live? Like, this is like we living in hell. When you really think about it, we are in like a simulation, and we're literally living in hell. Just not the hell that they talk about, the fiery hell, but we feel like we in between, in freaking chains. This is like modern day slavery. There's no chains, but mentally. It's sad and disgusting, and I just had to speak on my soapbox about that, because that just disgusts me. And it's like, why do we have to continue to have to think about any of those things, I do wish that times were a lot more simpler. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be so depressed and just battling mental health issues if we weren't put so much pressure on our shoulders. I think if we were able to just have our basic needs met and not have to think about your basic needs being met, I feel like a lot of people would be a lot more happier, because you're not trying to just survive, You're not trying to figure out where your next meal is coming from. Like, things like that. I feel like that's something that we shouldn't even have to worry about, And it hurts to even think about it, It really does. It's like, you have so many dreams and aspirations, right? And then when you get into survival mode, or hustle culture type of thing, those dreams and aspirations sometimes start to fade, because it's like you can't see them, because all you can worry about is what's in front of you right now, and that's trying to survive day to day. And you know how many people, or how many gifts that are being siphoned because people are just in survival mode, and they're just trying to survive, and those those gifts are not being shown to the world that God planted in a lot of people, because people are just trying to survive, and I feel like that is an issue. How do you think the next, I don't know, big thing that's supposed to help save the world is supposed to be created if the person is trying to survive to eat and live? They can't think about that gift. They can't produce that gift. They can't share that gift with the world if they're trying to figure out how they're gonna live, and it just grinds my gears. It grinds my gears that we are here in this place at this time. You would think that being in 2023, when we were younger, that we would believe we would be in this space, as humanity, we would be here. It's just sad. It's sad. But, let's talk more about not knowing what I want to be when I grow up. I've spoke previously about how I, plant a lot of seeds to see which one will flourish for me. I'm an author. I've written books. I created journals. I've done all of that, right? I have this podcast. So I share my experiences and I voice my opinions and, just speak to you all about life, right? So that's another seed that I planted that I try to, of course, water. I have YouTube. What else am I doing? That's really what I'm doing right now. I haven't really been doing YouTube lately because I kind of lost the passion for it. It's like you work so hard to create these videos and create all this content, and if your content is not being pushed, it kind of weighs on you, because it's like I put so much time into this and it's not being showed to the right people. So that's one thing about YouTube that really grinds my gears, because it's like it's just so hard to even get your stuff seen, and that really irritates me, So that's one thing that's like, I want to do YouTube, but it's like, do I want to put all that effort in and it's not being seen, and like you not getting no views on all this hard work that you done put in? So that really irritates me. Like, I love this podcast because it's like my digital diary, and I get to vent and share how I feel about things that's going on in the world and just what I'm experiencing each and every day. But of course, it's not getting to a lot of users as well. It's not getting to a lot of listeners, and I wanted to get to more listeners because I feel like what I'm sharing will, resonate with other people and help other people in this world. And I'm not trying to complain or anything, but it's like I put so much hard work. I edit all of my own stuff, and I record everything. I don't have no help doing none of this stuff that I do. So this is all me, one woman show, And so I put all this work in, and I just feel like it's not going where I want it to go. And I'm not stopping. This is not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying that it is frustrating when you put so much energy and passion in your work and it's not being shown to the people or listened by the people that you want it to be listened to. And, sometimes one day it'll take off randomly. Some things happen that way. Success don't happen overnight. But it's just like I've been putting in so much work, and I want my work to be acknowledged, And so, just like with my journals and my books and stuff like that, I worked really hard on all of them. And my recent book, I did a poetry book called Jesus Please Fix It. Jesus Please Fix It. Actually, it's called Please Fix It, Jesus. Poetry from the Heart. And yes, it's available on Amazon right now. You can get it. And it should also be it's on Amazon, but I think you can I have it as an ebook and, of course, hardback book and just paperback. And these poems are like really from the heart. Like, this is everything about Sean, you know, what I've experienced, what I've been through. And, you know, it really, I feel like it would help a lot of people if you're dealing with loss of a loved one, grieving, if you're dealing with depression, you know, dealing with discovering yourself, finding who you are as a woman, as a person. Like, that book will truly help you. And I'm currently working on another book also. I haven't really gotten back into it because, of course, I've been hustling and I ain't had time to do it. But I am working on another book. But it's like I work so hard for these things and I just want them to be acknowledged. That's all. And I also plant these seeds because you don't want to feel like you didn't leave anything behind in this world. You didn't leave an impact in some type of way. And so that's why I create so many things, because I want to leave my mark, you know. Everybody wants to leave some type of mark on this world. And so that's why I do so many things. And just right now, I'm just like in a creative slump, just trying to figure out what's next, what to do. Because I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I can honestly say I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I just don't want to have to always just survive. I want to actually enjoy life, you know. Not that I compare myself to anybody else or anything like that. Not that I'm not grateful for the life that I have, but I do want to have days where I don't have to think about, okay, what do I need to pay here? I don't have to think about money all the time. Don't nobody want to think about money every single waking day, because it gets depressing. Don't nobody want to think about that. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I'm just tired of the same old day, you know. It's like one day, one long day. And I just want to live. I want to be able to take my children to see the world. I want to travel the world with my husband. I want to do all these things. I don't want to just survive every day. You know, that's not a way to live. But I guess that's all I'm going to talk about today. I feel like we all should be able to show our gift and our gift be enough. You know, and we all should be able to survive and live in this world and our basic needs be met. And we don't have to, I don't know, figure things out all the time. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for listening to another episode of Unapologetically Shine. This is episode 12. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm sure a lot of us don't know. And we'll figure it out one day. But yeah, and remember, you can always listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, Amazon Music, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Audible, and each and every Wednesday at midnight on my YouTube channel, Life with Shine. So make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel also, Life with Shine. Have a great Wednesday and a great week, and be blessed. Bye.